screen?
Yeah.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Okay. I will go ahead and jump in. Well, again, thank you. I appreciate everyone's time. So let's jump in. This is actually we've went through a bit of a maneuver to update our marketing, our kind of go-to-market feel, and I'm actually super excited about it. This is a term we've been using internally for about a year, but we really just started pushing this out there, this reimagine your world of work. And it's really conceptually, as you look at your business, you look at your operations, you look at whatever it is that you do, and kind of looking at where we are today, whether we're talking literally currently as we sit here around the COVID situation, or just as over time, we've seen people moving more towards the remote way of working from home, working in various locations around the world. Companies realizing the talent shortage, even in these tough times. So looking to hire people in various places around the world. The whole concept of digitizing your business really allows us to deal with, companies to deal with what we have and what we're dealing with currently, but also even the direction that many companies were already going in. This is very much up-to-date information here. So annual worldwide spending on digital transformation is forecasted to reach 2.3 trillion by 2023. So I'm certainly not alone in this way of thinking. This slide to me is fascinating. However, 70% of all digital transformation initiatives fails to reach their goals. 80% of CEOs are worried that a lack of skills in their workforce is threatening their growth, and 70% of employees aren't empowered with tech to solve problems. So in one hand, right, we're looking at this amount of money is being spent, yet on the other hand, we're seeing here that these problems aren't being solved, or they're certainly not being implemented. Something to think about here. Digital transformation success is twice as likely when organizations implement digital self-service technology for employees' use. And what does that mean? Is really what it comes down to. Whether it's our product, whether it's someone else's product. Today, if you're expecting the technology team in your company, the IT group, to implement everything, to lay it out, to be there, to build out processes, workflows, and such, you're actually creating a bottleneck situation in most cases. So in other words, how are they able to keep up with a whole new system coming into place? And historically speaking, I'm sure everyone can relate to this. Whenever there's a new system put in place, everyone starts pulling their hair out of their head. Well, people that can. I don't have that much hair left on mine. But in any case, when we look at what we put together and why we put it together in the manner that we did, everything is no code and everything is very simple to utilize. So the concept is, we didn't build this for tech people per se, although some would argue that the tech people love us too, because they like the fact that they're not responsible for all of it. So whether it's the HR team, whether it's operations, whether it's someone that has no technology background whatsoever, we produce something, we put something together that has a real kind of ease of use, if you will. So some other data here. This is from a 2020 Formstack customer survey. On average, Formstack customers are saving 2 working days per week using our platform. So again, this isn't about creating more work. It's about eliminating work. It's about automating processes. Again, my new favorite line, it's time for you to reimagine your world of work. So looking at the platform here, what is it? We really have 3 core products. And we'll also talk about the Salesforce component, as I know it was mentioned at the very beginning of the conversation, but we're really looking at within the platform, we have forms, documents, and sign, and we'll get into what these look like here. But let's start with forms. So as you look at this laptop that's open here in front of you, this is really your dashboard You look on the left, there's different fields, and then in the center there is a template. So you have 40 plus templates to choose from to build any kind of form, whether it's a survey, whether it's just collecting any type of data whatsoever. So when I say data, this could be a payment, this could be someone's address, this could be personal health information, or this could be you asking somebody to provide copies of something that they can attach. So you can set this up in a manner where you're collecting information in many different ways, and everything is drag and drop. I would say on average, once you have this figured out, which is kind of once you're done with your initial training out of the gate, um, on average, you're looking 10-15 minutes to build a custom form. And these forms can be embedded on your website. They can be something that you send in an email, whatever that might look like. There's a lot of different places to put it, from a non-for-profit standpoint. Social media is obviously big. So being able to embed a link that takes you directly to the form versus a link that's taking you to a website, and then you got to go look for the form. It's a very smooth operation in terms of being able to go directly to the actual form.
So,
Documents, go ahead, I'm sorry.
sorry, Doug, I just wanted to make sure that everyone gets it. The best thing which I liked here is any form for any object, right? You just have an object, you want to integrate a form with Salesforce, and that form sits on your websites, right? So it is not just web tool which is provided by Salesforce, or you don't need to have any expertise on the development side. You just spin up a Formstack form, and it only takes 10-15 minutes for creating a very beautiful form, which you can with some css and everything, you can design it and put on your website. It really works so well, right?
No, exactly. And in terms of being able to customize it from a marketing standpoint, if you will, to show your logo and whatever you might want that to look like, very simple to do. This becomes your form. It's not something where, Formstack is blasting all over it. It's actually the look and feel is going to be your company, your organization. And I think it's important to touch on security as well. Obviously, data security is a huge issue today. I can tell you that our security is second to none. Not supposed to outwardly talk about security breaches and things of that nature, but I'll put it this way: it's never had to come up in a conversation because we are positioned extremely well. And again, as I mentioned at the very beginning, I don't know if everyone was on at this point, but our people behind the scenes, if you will, are phenomenal in terms of the way that they've built this out to make it simple yet give the strongest protection from a security standpoint possible. Any other questions on the forms piece? Again, we could circle back at the end as well.
Yeah, Doug, I think you can proceed, and any questions whatsoever, we can take it at the end of this call.
Perfect. So look at the documents. This is a document generator. So the nice thing here is whether it's something you've created in forms or something maybe you already have, right? You have a PDF that you want to upload and create a presentation, a spreadsheet, what have you, an agreement. All of this can be generated through the system. And again, I'll stop here for a second to make sure you understand that this is all one platform. So although I'm showing you sort of three different products, these all flow together, which is the beautiful thing. So whether you're creating a form and then going through the document portion to generate something greater, or I like to kind of look at documents as a bit of the vehicle to take the form you created to the next point. These things all work together. You're not toggling between sites. You're not logging in and out. Once you've come into the system, you have the ability to utilize everything. And then finally, this is our e-signature product, Formstack Sign. And I want to take a few minutes on this because besides what you might see here, I'm not sure how many people are currently using e-signature, whether it be from us or a competitor. you have, again, something very simple, very easy to use. You can just upload any document you have, whether it's part of something you've created within our system, or any type of agreement, contract, whatever that might be. You can simply upload it. And if we have time, I can walk you through that process as well. And then if you look on the left here, you'll see same kind of thing, drag and drop. If you're using Outlook or Gmail, this integrates with your contacts, so you can start typing their name in, they'll pull up. But dragging and dropping signature fields, again, very simple process. Very quickly, you can upload something and move it out. Now, what I wanted to touch on, I'm going to go back to documents here for a second. By having all these things in one place, something that you can do that is definitely unique in terms of our offering is, because all of this can be generated from one platform. Let's say you had a contract or an agreement or a proposal that needed to be signed that you were sending out to 50 different people. Well, rather than having to go into just the signature tool and upload 50 different documents, you can set this up within the platform, that you can automate the whole process. So let's say you're sending it out to 50 different people. Well, every person that opens this is going to be labeled and set to them, not only addressed to them, but literally when they go into the agreement, the contract, their name and their information, their data will be in that contract. So again, from an automation standpoint, it's a pretty neat thing when you let this whole thing flow together. And that's where some people say, well, how do you compete, or how do you stand apart from your competition? I would say the two greatest things that we have to offer is that we have all of these pieces in one platform. So it runs and works smoothly. You're not utilizing various different systems. And then number two, just our customer service along the entire way from this conversation we're having to someone signing up and getting onboarded, and throughout their time utilizing our services, really is phenomenal. So, and again, I want to be clear, you could in theory, some companies do this. You could just use Sign in a vacuum. You could just use this as a single service. If that's, say, hey, listen, I just need something to send out contracts. I'm sending one at a time. I need something simple. We do have plenty of customers that are just using this on its own, or going back, doing the same thing with Forms, where you could just be using Forms on its own. I wanted to get into some specific industries just so you can kind of see and relate it. Whether it's something that you guys are looking at and say, well, this is actually healthcare, or something non-for-profit, or whatever it is. I think it'll just give you a better understanding. I'm only going to touch on three today, but it gives you a pretty good idea on how you might utilize this. So Formstack for healthcare, improve patient satisfaction and retention. So one of the things that, again, this is really pre-COVID, and I don't know what you guys are seeing and where you sit right now, but here in the States, as advanced as we'd like to think we are from a technology standpoint, when I go see a doctor, I get handed a clipboard and 20 forms to fill out, and I feel like I'm sitting there for a half an hour filling out information that they should already have. So really, from a patient standpoint, when we look at healthcare, the ability to do everything online, the ability for it to populate the information that you already have on there, and also the ability to share the information with the proper people. In other words, just picturing kind of a doctor's office, right? Maybe the person sitting at the front desk needs your address and what have you, but they don't need to know that you're having heart problems. That's not their business. But the doctor needs to know that. The billing person needs certain information, but they don't need all of it. So the ability to create something and share the necessary information with the appropriate people. Just some more things to think about here. HIPAA here in the U.S. is our federal component in terms of protecting privacy information. Most countries it's called something else, but it's personal health information, and really being able to keep that secured in a manner that people aren't seeing what health issues you might have, whether we're talking about physical or mental, emotional. Obviously these are things that the people don't want that type of data and information being out there. Again, this is kind of an example here. Patient could use an iPad for check-in. Um, just being able to create a flow that works very sort of seamlessly. Um, quick time check here. Okay, so quick example. This is one of our clients, one of our customers. Advent Health launched 400 HIPAA compliant forms in one day. Transitioned pre-birth unit to digital registration, and cut down form management team from several IT staff to one marketing employee. So again, example here. The person that's utilizing it is a marketing person. If I'm correct, it's a fairly junior person too. So, um, when we saw what happened with COVID, we were very quick to be able to help companies adjust very quickly to both having people work remotely as well as you look at patients or students or employees or whatever that is, to have the ability to provide data, information, whatever's needed on the other side without having to leave their desk, without having to leave their couch, their chair. Pass this. Let's talk about education. And again, don't necessarily get too caught up in the specific industry as much as the use case and how this might be something that could be relevant. Eliminate hours of time performing manual tasks like routing paper forms, tracking down approvals, creating a workflow that manages all crucial steps. One of the things that we've started doing in the States, we've always had a history of working in the university system. People registering for classes, people getting the information needed, things of that nature. But now with what's happening here, a lot of schools have moved to online learning. And now some are starting to transition to people going back into the classrooms. And what we've been able to help schools create, or actually have created for them in many cases, is a situation where on a daily basis, someone fills out a form, a parent and a student, that asks 10 questions. What's your temperature? How are you feeling? Does anyone in your house feel sick? Have you been around anyone that has COVID? So on and so forth. And then based on these answers, it can give them basically a barcode, what's the term I'm trying to find? A unique code that they will only get if they're cleared to go in. So when they go to the door of their school, when they go to their door of their employer, whatever it might be, in order for them to get in the door, they have to have that code scanned. So if they didn't fill out the form, or they 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 have in fact kind of failed the form, if you will, or they've been around someone who's sick or whatever, they will not be let in. So this is something that the amount of, whether it's companies, schools, what have you, that have wanted to implement something like this to provide safety to everyone, including that person, and also, quite frankly, give them sort of legal protection too, that they're taking all the necessary steps to protect everyone in the process. And again, kind of stepping back, pre, post, whatever, from a COVID standpoint, these are things that have been in play for a long time for us. Financial aid, different reviews, different letters that can be moved and provided and maneuvered to the right people through the process of utilizing Formstack. Quick example here: University of Michigan created automated visa letter request process that saves staff hundreds of hours, reduced letter turnaround time from 2 to 4 weeks to the same day. So this was huge. As I mentioned, looking at our company, I'm proud. We're prior to all this, we were 60% remote already, and one of the reasons was the ability to truly have a worldwide workforce. And when you think about, mentions visas in the other slide, the ability to be able to be in touch, to connect with folks from anywhere, and collect the necessary information and documents that you might need, without someone really, again, having to leave their chair and go anywhere, is pretty amazing and pretty timely right now. So Formstack for professional services. When I use the term professional services, I'm talking about legal, accounting, financial services, consulting, and anything in those boxes. One of the things that we found interesting as people went more remote is the amount of companies that are professional services companies, very distinguished, yet very much still sort of stuck on paper. Um, whether it be contracts they're dealing with or even internal forms. So, something to think about from an HR standpoint, onboarding people, someone putting in a request because they want to take a vacation day, incident reports, all those things, being able to digitize everything really changes the flow and the process that companies go through, both on the front end and throughout. Um, so some examples here: small businesses submit an online loan application form. So this would be more for like banking. Information automatically creates a new record. Um, Actually, I'll pause here for a second because the one thing that Akash brought up and I think is important, and I want to make sure we spend a few minutes on, is Formstack for Salesforce. So we have a partnership with Salesforce, and honestly, Salesforce is one of, I think, 100 plus integrations we have today. But quite frankly, it's the strongest one, because what happens with Salesforce is you can actually build your forms and do everything within Salesforce. So you're not even leaving Salesforce to do these things. So even though you're utilizing the Formstack product and platform, it's all happening within Salesforce. So it's not, how do I move my data from Formstack to Salesforce? It's happening right then and there, which is a pretty neat thing. And then, again, when we look at some of our competitors out there, it's definitely unique to have this type of arrangement, partnership, and integration that we have here. Keep things moving here. Another example: Tri-Counties Bank launched an online payment protection program application process in 1 week. So in 1 week, they built this thing out without any custom code, originating and funding 2,908 loans totaling $436 million. So again, the thing to keep looking at here that should be popping up for all of you is the simplicity, the speed, the accuracy to make changes within an organization. One thing you find, whether you're dealing with companies or people in general, change is tough. And anytime, again, as I mentioned earlier, that you're implementing a new system or a new process or a new way of doing things, period, it's easy to fear that, or to even kind of promote fear in your company when hey, this is what we're doing. You'll notice a lot of people aren't super excited because, oh, what does this mean? And how much time is this going to take? Very quickly, we find that people catch on, learn the system, and find that their job has just become much, much easier. I like this page. These are global and/or well-known organizations, from education to large companies to healthcare. You can see we today we have 27,000 companies. We have 27,000 companies that we do business with. 14 years we've been in the data management experience, and we do all of this, proud to say, with 250 employees, and just an amazing team of people, the best folks I've ever worked with. But again, I like to say we're industry agnostic, meaning we can work with anybody. The types of services that we're able to provide about how you run your business, your operations, is something that can really, quite frankly, help any organization in any vertical. Just some different features that are available out there. Single sign-on is a big one I didn't mention. And then again, from a compliance standpoint, service level agreements, and also everyone that I work with gets personal onboarding with a customer success manager. And if you're at a certain level, that customer success manager, stays with you all throughout, continues to work with you and continues to be there as a support for you. Again, security and compliance. I mentioned the level that we're at there, depending on what you're looking for. And I wanted to touch on briefly the other thing that could be of interest to some of you folks is our partner ecosystem. We have a number of different partnerships that are available, but really, one is different organizations have the ability to resell us, but another is just the ability to kind of work together and where we can utilize our partner as a referral, and they can utilize us. And there's a lot of neat opportunities from a marketing standpoint as well. I like to say it truly is a partnership. bouncing out of that for a minute. From an integration standpoint, as I mentioned before, obviously we talked about Salesforce, but also think about like payment systems. So PayPal, Stripe, Dropbox obviously comes up a lot. We're in the process of a massive integration with Microsoft. We already have something in play, but something that's going to take it to a whole nother level. So again, folks will say to us, hey, we have this system in place we really like. We don't come in and say, no, we don't want you to use that. We only want to use us. That's not our role in the ecosystem. Our role is really how can we add value to what you already have, and also kind of fill in the missing areas, if you will. So, hey, it's great that you're storing your data in HubSpot, but how are you getting it there? How are you acquiring the data? So there's a lot we're able to do there. I am going to pause here, stop the share. You can see my Formstack head again. And let's pause there and kind of open this up to any questions you might have.
Guys, please feel free to ask any question if you have about Formstack. And there are a few more things that I'll be sharing with you about Formstack at the end of this session. So any questions, please put on right now. And in the chat, I've also shared the details, how you can connect with Doug as well as Ryan to get any information about Formstack. So any questions?
Akash, what I can do is, I mentioned I could jump into the actual product.
Yep.
And just kind of walk through a couple of pieces just so everyone can kind of sort of see it live.
Yep.
So give me a minute. Let me just, I'm going to go back to sharing my screen. In the interim, if anyone doesn't want to say a question out loud, you can certainly put it in the share part, or excuse me, on the chat part, and I'm happy to address these as we go through. Bear with me. I'm going to share again. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and show you the sign piece. So as you saw as we went through this is your, when you log on and you go straight to the sign, it's a Formstack sign. This is what you're looking at. A couple of quick things. If I go to documents here, this is everything that I've sent out to be signed. So these are different agreements. You'll see the agreement name on the left. You'll see the participants in the middle. And then what's kind of a neat feature here, if I just want to kind of get a quick glimpse and see where things are at, you'll see on this top one where it says Formstack and college, and this gentleman's name, Jeremy, and you'll see this kind of marking before his name. That means I'm waiting for him to sign. Once he signs, it'll go to the next person. I have it set up this way. So Matt, who works for our company, isn't going to see the document. He doesn't even know about the document until Jeremy signs it. So if you have something you're sending out for signature, and say whether it's a person in your organization, wherever that might be, a lot of times people say, hey, I have enough stuff in my email box. There's no reason for me to see the contract until the other party signed it. So you can set it up in order in terms of who sees it first. You could set up 12 different people to sign in the process. So whatever you might want that to look like. So here's status. This is out for signature, signed, canceled. So if you had something you may have sent out and you decided that that it was, you made a mistake on the document, or the person came back to you and said, hey, I want to revisit this, and you redo the contract, you can just go in and cancel it. We go to actions here. I can hit reminder, and this will just send a simple message. Hey, checking in, whatever, you can put a personalized message, or the message that is in here is the one that comes up automatically. One of the very cool features here as well is you'll see here on these boxes, it says email, text message, or both. This is definitely a unique feature that we have that no one else is utilizing today, in the sense that you can send out something that comes in SMS/text. What we find here in the States is a lot of people prefer important documents, believe it or not, to be sent that way, timely documents, because That way it pops right up on their device, on their iPhone, whatever it is that they're utilizing. Boom, it's right there on the front of their screen. Let's go back in here one more time. Actions. You can recall it if I sent it out and said, oh shoot, I didn't mean to send that. I can recall if I need a download. So again, this acts as a storage unit as well. So I don't have to go back into my email to find the signed contract. I can just pull it up right here. And then let's quickly go through the process here. We'll go back to home, upload a file. So again, you can pull this up from anywhere. Let's do a offer letter. Okay, so we're going to go sample offer letter. You'll see it's uploading this document here in this box. And you'll see it appears. You can also send multiple contracts or agreements in one setting. You just keep uploading them. We go to next. We add participants. So we'll just put myself on here. You can add as many people as you want. Again, you can choose here, send via text. Assuming you're not doing that, we go to next. And then here's the beautiful thing. So this is this document here. I have a place where I want to put this. Now, in some cases, someone may send you a contract, or you might have a contract that you don't feel like even writing candidate's signature. You just want to leave it blank. That's fine too, because I'll show you what happens. I drag full name, Doug Thorner. It says Doug Thorner's full name. So when Doug Thorner receives this, he'll see his name on here, not with the box. It'll look like this thing was built and made for him. Signature, drag and drop. Date, this is a really neat feature too. So it says date, right? Well, when I log in here, if I'm receiving this, automatically the second I log in, whether it's today or a week from now, this is sent to me today, but I don't open it until tomorrow, or whatever date it is, automatically it date stamps that particular date. You can also add initials wherever you want. Let's say there's something unique in this particular contract or something you want to make sure they don't miss. You can click on the initials and drag it across. So when we have everything here, we come up with a name. We'll call it offer letter sample. Message, again, there's automatically populated here with a kind of a basic message, but you can put whatever you want. Reminders. So this is a neat feature too. So you can, if I click daily, this means that until this person signs this document, every single day they're going to get reminded about it, or weekly. You can also create password protect. So this would mean that I would have to separately send this person a password, just adding a layer of security. You know, honestly, most folks don't use that, but it's something that's there if it's something you want. Also, I like this feature. I can add CC. So, you know, why might I do that? What we have found is a lot of folks will have, like, a CEO has to sign a document, but the CEO doesn't check his emails very often. So his admin, his administrative assistant, would like to be CC'd. So by hitting CC, it doesn't make her a signer, but it means that she will also be emailed the document. And now she can go to her CEO and say, by the way, your contract's arrived, just want to let you know. And then I hit send. Now I get an instant notification saying it's been sent. I'm going to do this. We'll go to my email here. I get an email here saying it's been sent for signature. If for some reason the address I put in was incorrect, not only I don't have to wait for like something to get sent back to me saying it didn't happen, Formstack Sign will actually notify me as well. So I can go back in and update the email without having to redo the whole thing. I'm going to leave this and we're going to go into my personal email, which is where I sent the document. And this is what it looks like. It says review and sign. And going back to what I said, this is not going to take me to a website. I click review, sign. It takes me directly to the form. And you'll see here, see the date is in there. I did not add my name on there. I apologize, but my name would have been on there had I put it on there. Click to sign. I have two options here. I can be comfortable with the signature it gives me, and I can click apply, or if I say I don't like that signature, I want to sign it myself, I can click draw a signature, and I can take my mouse, and believe it or not, that is what my signature looks like. I hit apply, and then now that everything's signed, I click submit document. This is a very important piece that shows up here, consent to do business. There's consumer disclosure. So this is saying that this is a legal document. I'm authorizing this to occur. I hit submit document. Thank you, da, 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 da. I go back to my email here. This is an important thing too. I'm gonna refresh. I will get, oh, actually I'm in the wrong one here. Let me go back. So this is my work email again. This is my Formstack email. It says document signing is complete. So this is Doug Thorner at Formstack that's looking at this. So this would be you as the company. Not only do I have the signed agreement now, but I also go down here and I have what's called the document completion certificate. So this is basically an audit trail. This tells me everything. When was it sent? Who signed it? What time they opened? So again, if someone says, well, gosh, I never signed that, this is all the data that shows that they did in fact do that. And I want to show you one more thing and then I'll shut up. If we go, let's go back to my personal email. I received something also. I received my own copy instantly. So you don't have to go back and chase this person and say, let me get you a copy, or the person says, when do I get my copy? They have the same thing. They have an audit trail as well, and they have their signed copy instantly. Once they sign, boom, they've got it. So yeah, that's the signed piece. I know we're up against it time-wise, so happy to answer any questions on that process. Again, if anyone has greater interest and wants to dive deeper into forms or documents, happy to set up time to walk you through a demo of those or workflows, or, we were talking about what does Formstack look like within Salesforce. Happy to do that as well. We also have some videos and things like that that I can always send along too.
I would say, Doug, if you can share those resources, that will be awesome, so that I can share it to all the attendees. Also,
Yes.
now I'll be sharing the details of Doug and his teammate Ryan, so that you can reach out to them in person. Also, Doug and Ryan, I'm missing your Twitter handles. If it is possible to share, please share your Twitter so that we can tag you in our tweets. Thank you.
Absolutely. It looks like there is a question here. If an organization has an established form, can Formstack convert it to an online form? The answer is absolutely. So going back to that documents feature, you can upload anything that you've already created and put it where you want to put it. So what we don't want to do is put you in a position where you have to sort of recreate the wheel. If you have what you need, great. We're not going to force you to have to redo it or remake it. In some cases, people say, I have something, but I don't like it at all. I just need these pieces. You can take those pieces and put them within our system, and then, change it to how you want it. But yeah, thank you. I really appreciate everybody's time. Akash, thank you so much for setting this up. These are always fun for us. And also, if you'd like, I'm happy to send along both a copy of the deck, if you'd like. I'll send that along with some of the other materials. And we have this recorded as well. So for any reason I know you're doing the same, I think. But if you have any issues at all with your end, happy to provide you our version as well. We use a system called Gong that tapes everything too. So, in any case, again, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Doug. Actually, the pleasure is all ours, because this has been a very wonderful platform, and I was looking for something like this to be shared with our group, because this is a non-profit community that I really wanted to showcase something which can be really very helpful for not just for the non-profits, but the education industry as well. One of our so as the question which was asked by Doug, Doug he hails from US, and he has been a trainer. He is a certified non-profit consultant as well in US, and he is an awesome supporter of ours. Uh, so that's the reason it is really very helpful for not just for non-profit community, but for educators as well. So that's the reason. And It is a great pleasure that finally I was able to bring this awesome content to you. And thank you so much, Doug and Ryan. I can't thank you enough for this wonderful session and sharing a very beautiful platform, a powerful platform with all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thanks again. I really appreciate everyone's time. And again, Akash, I'll follow up and send stuff to you that you can send to the
Sure,
others. All right.
absolutely.
Wish everyone a great day and a great rest of the week. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Doug.
Bye, everybody. Bye,
Bye.
Kash.
Thank you, Ryan.
Bye, Ryan.
Bye.
Bye all.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks.
Bye. Taruna, can you stay back?
Huh?
Can you please stay back for just for 2 minutes while everyone can leave? Thank you everyone for joining. Meet you next week.
Akash, are we taking that group pic?
Yeah, we could have taken, but most of the times in the back end we take all of those.
Okay.
Yeah, if you want to show up, definitely we can capture it now.
Yep. Why not?
Yeah, guys, if you don't mind sharing your cameras anyway. So Aviral, you are looking prettier than me, so and you don't even have this beard. It's actually not a not beard. I would say these are all in Hindi. My family used to call it tar. Hai iske do tar. It is something. Okay. So Karuna, are you taking a picture now?
Okay, just a
Okay.
minute.
Okay. Let me stop the recording.
Okay.